I came to a horse show in April about 22 years ago and met a gentleman named Bruce Duchessois.
He was, first of all, a really fun guy. It was just fun to be around and interesting, and not just because of horses, but because of his enthusiasm for life.
He loved horses, but he loved all animals, but horses were at the top of the list. He started that when he was maybe in 7th, 8th grade, and he never stopped. Then after he got his horse, we couldn't keep him away from the stables. He was there every day. Didn't know how much about riding, but he was taking lessons every day. It just stayed with him. The horse was his whole life. Beside the people, the horse people who were around him, that was his life.
He was an extraordinary guy, very generous. Family's very generous. He grew up that way, doing for others. Very kind. Never said a bad word about anybody.
He had a big heart, not only for animals, but especially for people as well. Pretty compassionate guy.
You knew that when you watched Bruce show, he was a consummate sportsman. He was a consummate horseman. His horsemanship was impeccable. So he was just always somebody I admired. Anytime I saw him at a horse show, you wanted to watch Bruce, how he acted, how he rode, all of that. So that's how I remember him, and it's just a wonderful memory.
Bruce was a good friend. One of those unique people who can look at you as though you're the only person on the planet, and that's a gift. And those are the kind of people that, you value. They're very special, and I was very fond of Bruce.
Well, Bruce had cancer. He always felt he wanted to leave something behind, and he knew his life was shortened up.
It was probably a year and a half into his illness that he said, you know what, Aiken's been such an important part of my life. I decided I want to do something special to leave behind and give the community and give the industry another option to compete in a great city called Aiken.
He wanted to get this beautiful piece of ground, 66 acres, into the most unique riding facility in the Southeast.
Sustainability was his goal. He wanted something that wasn't a one and done, but that was going to be a community resource, a community asset for literally generations to come.
It's a smaller horse show. So many horse shows are like a giant circus. They're 10, 12 rings, they're huge. And this is, a smaller, quainter environment. And it's nice to come here and have more of an old-time country feel to what horse shows used to be.
That's what really sticks out to me about this venue is the horse friendliness, how natural it is, how park-like. That was what I know they were going for, and they knocked it out of the park.
Bruce's Field is really for everybody. It's a venue that can be used by all disciplines, and it was Bruce's hope that it would be used by all disciplines.
The overarching theme is to create as big a tent as possible. And by doing that, we enhance Aiken, the equestrian community. We help to make Aiken, a destination place for eventing and equestrian activities.
Aiken is so lucky to have a facility like Bruce's Field, the Aiken Horse Park. It brings so many people to our community who may not have known about it before. The international competition that we have here is just amazing, and has really raised the level of equestrian eventing in our community.
We have people from California, Texas. This has become the stopping point in the spring. So those 10 or 12 weeks we have shows, pretty much every hotel is full around here. The restaurants are packed.
We're very fortunate to have Bruce's Field in our community.
Personally, I think it went beyond his wildest expectations. I think looking back, looking down, he'd be very proud that in fact the concept that he initially had was fulfilled and beyond some.
He would love it. He would love it. I just wish he could be here.
To be competitive and to attract, the best horses and riders throughout the world, you've got to have good facilities. And the board of the horse park are trying to stay current and making sure the facilities are up to the standard that Bruce would have wanted.
We're now at a point where we're looking at a capital campaign to meet the needs of future events.
Right now we have about 2/3 of our stabling is temporary stabling, so we'd like to make that so all 600 stalls are permanent.
A lot of trainers are used to these barns. They have stallions, they have mares who don't get along, don't want to be that close together in the tents. So it would be nice to be able to house everybody in a permanent barn.
We'd like to build a covered ring with a pavilion. When we have inclement weather, we can move stuff inside.
The covered arena offers opportunity for our community that we just don't have in our historic equestrian community right now. For eventing, for showcasing, it really adds another component that not only adds to the equestrian experience here in Aiken, but also to the economic development and the impact that it has on our community.
The horse park is, it's an investment in our future. Any money put towards it will be, money really well spent for the future of horse sports and Aiken.
When you've been given every opportunity, as our parents taught us, and Bruce's parents taught him, you give back. You share what you have. That's why we're on this earth, I believe.